Hey guys, my name is Matimio, and today we have learned that the IRNV and the FLIR scope in Battlefield 4 are seeing some significant changes. Right now in the CTE, these two scopes no longer have the ability to pierce through smoke at all. Here, for example, I'm running around on the new community map. I see an enemy out in the distance. I throw smoke down at my feet to try to conceal myself and take advantage of the IRNV, and they promptly disappear in front of me. Basically, it just looks like a gigantic black wall sprung in front of my eyes. As soon as you look to the left and the right, of course, enemies and teammates are going to stick out like a sore thumb. It functions exactly like the IRNV does normally, but as soon as smoke enters the equation, you can no longer see through it at all. And I mean at all. This has caused a little bit of a controversy online. You have the people that love this change. They think that this is exactly what's needed for Battlefield 4, and then the other crowd thinks that this is the worst thing ever. I can see where both people are coming from. On the one hand, this has been in the game since the very beginning. When Battlefield 4 launched, the FLIR and the IRNV had this ability. This is actually what the FLIR, I believe, is designed for in real-life combat. This is exactly what it's designed for, to actually see through smoke. And so by taking away this game mechanic, you're kind of taking away from the realism and just a key feature that's been in the game since the very beginning. So I can absolutely see that standpoint. On the other hand, though, and the side that I've been leaning more towards more and more over this last couple of months, because originally I would have said that nothing needs to change. Like a couple of months ago, I thought that this was something that not many people were taking advantage of and it wasn't a serious issue. But over this last couple of months, I think people have realized that the smoke has changed significantly since the game has released. When the game first launched, smoke was pathetic. It wasn't very dispersive. It didn't take up a large area. It wasn't very thick, so you could see through it no problem at all. It just wasn't a very impressive gadget or a grenade type to begin with. But now, as we can clearly see, it's gigantic, and the FLIR and the IRNV have seen a constant rework since the very beginning of the game. And so I think it's a combination of these two things, and the fact that people have slowly realized that, holy crap, this is actually a really effective way to take people out, that more and more people have started taking it up, and so it has become a serious issue. And so while once again, a couple of months ago, I didn't think this was a problem, since I think more and more people have gravitated towards using this tactic, especially on certain game modes, it has become just absolutely ridiculous. And so I think for some people, they're just getting tired, me included, of getting killed through smoke when you have no idea where the enemy is. And I know one counter that a lot of people say is, we'll just throw the flares everywhere. Like, the flare is a huge counter to the IRNV, and I agree with you, but we have to understand what type of video game we're creating at this point. If everyone's throwing smokes and flares everywhere, then no one can see. It's like, I want to play a first-person shooter. I want to see and have firefights with enemies, but as soon as they're throwing the smoke so that I can't see them, I'm throwing the flare so they can't see me, no one's able to see anyone, and really at that point, you're just getting lucky if you can spot someone through the smoke, through the ridiculous light show that's happening, and I don't know if that is necessarily an enjoyable gameplay experience. And so for me personally, I just like the idea that the smoke grenade is now going to function exclusively as a defensive item, or to allow you to push up onto an objective. If your team is having a hard time on rush pushing up onto an MCOM, you can now use the smoke to hide yourself, to get up a little bit closer, to maybe move from cover to cover, and not worry about the 20 people already using the IRNV trick to be able to have no problem seeing you and taking you out with ease. I think that's the biggest reason why I'm excited about this change. Not only that, but I still think that these two scopes are going to serve a function in Battlefield 4. Some people are making the claim that this was all that they are useful for, that they are going to be completely useless now that you are taking this functionality, and I have to disagree wholeheartedly. Here I am playing on the new community map. It's jungle themed, and one thing about a jungle is that there's a lot of foliage that people can hide in. There's a lot of hiding spots, dark corners, there's just so many different places that enemy can hide in, and if you use the IRNV effectively, it makes it significantly easier to take out and just see the enemy that are lurking in the shadows. Yes, it does come with some disadvantages. Yes, it has the black borders. It makes you focus on one area and you can't see your periphery. You can't see anything going on around you. But if you use this correctly, this is still going to be completely viable. Like, this allowed me to go on kill streaks. This allowed me to make sure that the enemy wasn't able to get a flank off or catch me by surprise because they were lurking in these dark areas. And in my opinion, it is going to be a very useful accessory on some of these maps. And so I'd like to get your guys' take on this. I should mention that this is on beyond the CTE. It's meant for testing. This isn't guaranteed to go live, and they want to get our feedback. And so do you think that this is a step in the right direction? Are you like me and we're a little reluctant because, yeah, it sucks that the FLIR, something that was designed to pierce through smoke, isn't going to have that in the game anymore. Like, it does take away from that realism, but do you think it's for the better because it is being abused? You'd rather it be more focused on the first-person shooter aspect of it and not a light show like it can turn out on maps like Metro and Locker? Or do you think that it should stay the way that it is right now? You like to have this dynamic in the game, and you would hate for Battlefield to make this change? Let me know down below. But yeah, guys, that's about it for today's little update. I hope you enjoyed. But until tomorrow, have a good one, and take it easy.